Yeah, very quickly, folks, for the benefit of those who don't know DASA, I'll just do a quick introduction. And obviously, Jorge and Christine are very popular. They don't need any introduction. They're also my good friends. So we'll jump right into an introduction of DASA itself. So if you want to please flip to the next one slide there, Christine. And it's DASA, as the name stands for, is DevOps Agile Skills Association. It's a members-based association and heavily focused on building a community for around DevOps and Agile and the new ways of working, essentially the modern ways of building software systems, as businesses increasingly are centered around delivering software-powered products. The DevOps way of working becomes very important. And in terms of some of the areas which DASA is focused on, transformation guidance, as you can see, it's obvious in the market that a lot of people are undergoing transformation to adopt the new ways of working. So DASA provides guidance there, and as a platform for leaders and practitioners, such as this one here, where we have the leaders in form of Jorge and Christine, who are well-renowned DevOps coaches, and sharing their experiences with the community. It's a two-way learning, so we all, by exchanging information, we also learn collectively. And obviously, that also happens to be the name of the webinar itself, Collective Intelligence. So, and the other element of DASA is around talent transformation very quickly, and people readiness. People have to get upskilled and reskilled. And to support that, we have awards, and this is the awards that are scheduled. I would urge you to take a look at this. This is on our DASA website. And Christine, if you just click on that website, it'll take you to the URL. But it's dasa.devops. That's you can see the URL there. So so you take a look at that, please. And if there are organizations, individuals who want to participate in that, I'd strongly encourage you to enroll. With that, I'll pass it back over to Christine and Jorge to take it away.
Okay, thank you, Irfan. Yes, guys, we are going to share the presentation with you, and you will see the DASA's DASA website address over there as well. We strongly recommend you to look at it. But anyway, as you can see today, Jorge and I, again, some point we are presenting. That's today's topic is actually collective intelligence of DevOps teams. Okay, we choose this topic because we believe that collective intelligence is key for today's knowledge workers environment. You know, we are talking IT professional systems, the services environment. That's why the collective intelligence is based on the premise that intelligence is distributed. Different people hold different pieces of information and contributing different skills that when combined actually create a more complete picture of any problem, anything you want to achieve, because different people participate this. That's, we thought, that's why, I mean, this is our, yes, Jorge?
Yeah, there are organizations that think that when they have already achieved the state of high-performing team, they are done. And we'll see why we need to go beyond that.
Yes, that's why today we are going to look at what is a collective intelligence, of course, and also, importance of participation, having different people, different skill sets and together. Of course, there are ground rules comes with the collective intelligence, and there are phases. We are going to have a collective intelligence teams. Doesn't mean that you will have the collective intelligence teams. It takes time. And assuming that, you are at a high performing team, because all these rules, everything applies. All right, if no question. So what is collective intelligence? You see, this guy, Pierre Levy, is the French philosopher and cultural theorist and media scholar. He specialized in the understanding of the cultural and cognitive implications of digital technologies and the phenomenon of, collective human intelligence. Actually, he wrote, a couple of books on this and examine. And it's not that when I say French philosopher, we are not talking about, the 200 years ago, the philosopher over there. He is the recent. He introduced the collective intelligence concept in his 1994 book called Collective Intelligence, Mankind's Emerging World in Cyberspace. Okay, he defines collective intelligence as it is a form of universally distributed intelligence, constantly enhanced and coordinated in real time, and resulting in the effective mobilization of skills. You see, collective intelligence is not something static, okay? Because it's continue evolving, because we are continue evolving. And that's why all the participants, when they continually evolve, you will get something it's beyond your intelligence level. See, because the basis and the goal of collective intelligence is mutual recognition and enrichment of individuals rather than the cult of, hypothesized communities. You see, this is the knowledge workers we are talking about it. And that's why collective intelligence is a shared or group intelligence that emerges from many individuals' collaboration, collective efforts, and competition, and appears in consensus decision making. It's quite interesting when you start, looking at it and read on this and so on. So,
how is collective intelligence created? Okay, we need to understand that there is a group of diverse people that works together. That's important. It's not an individual or a guy commanding orders to the rest. We need a diverse group of people working together. Also, often with the help of technology, is not absolutely needed, but it's in this era, we don't think about getting rid of technology. We need the technology to potentialize or to leverage our skills and our capabilities. To what? To mobilize a wider range of information, ideas, and insights. It's not just having people following a leader and trying to unify their mind, because sometimes there is a misconception that we need to have a hive mindset in which everybody's thinking the same, and everybody trying to accomplish a goal, which is okay, but not with the same mindset. That we need to have a combination of all the skills, ideas, insights, and intelligence of all the individuals in order to solve a problem. So the main goal is to solve a problem. It's based on the premise that intelligence is distributed, as Christine said before, and also different pieces of information and skills are combined, because we want to create a more complete picture of the problem that we want to solve. Have you ever wondered how we manage to send regular people into the space, but can sort out how to deal with the pandemic, or we cannot stop online hate? So we can send people to the moon, send people to the space and around the Earth's orbit, but we cannot solve the pandemic. So we are standing in this world, in this planet, and we are not solving problems closer to us. So the difference is in the nature of those challenges. For example, humans and machines are very good at solving complicated technical challenges, where logical thought and linear thinking can get us to the finish line. But solving complex social and cultural challenges is much harder. These challenges are often multidimensional and decentralized. They usually can be fixed with a silver bullet solution, such as upgrading the tool to the latest version, automating the test, implementing the AI solution, etc. So when we arrive to social and cultural issues, we've hit against the wall. So DevOps transformation is cultural. It's a cultural change, not a technical or physical. So you cannot transform your team because you put them together under one management, or physically you move them to the same location. As the agile movement maybe created some confusion. Say if you sit people together in the same table, you are already aligned and you are already having collective intelligence. The most critical challenges facing us today are complex cultural challenges. We are interconnected and requiring change at multiple levels within organizations. from executives to individual behavior. So solving complex problems requires new approaches to problem solving, using new sources of data to rapidly understand the dynamics of what is happening, harnessing collective brain power to generate multiple solutions more quickly, facilitating space to think, reflect and decide collectively on a new course of action, and the capacity to harness data for real-time adjustments, and orchestrating knowledge that enables others to act. To do this, organizations and teams need to become skilled in mobilizing intelligence of all kinds, data, information, insights, and ideas. So
Yes.
how can the collective intelligence can help your transformation efforts?
Yeah, we have some new joiners, and welcome, guys. We are talking about collective intelligence. So how collective intelligence can help you? You know, depending on, you might be working on an international organization or public institutions, non-profit, or the commercial. And you may be familiar with the other innovative approaches, and you may already have used some methods, but still you might be struggling with some issues, because as Jorge mentioned it, technology resolves to technical problems, but the cultural issues are not easy to resolve. You see, to get the more effective solutions and create a new collaborative approaches to drive real change, you need cultural change. That's why, as we mentioned, the collective intelligence is not a new idea. It is based on the theory that groups of diverse people are collectively smarter than any single individual on their own. Especially if this group, which might be your team, contains knowledge workers. It means you have a distributed intelligence within your group. That's why even here, you see, we have the different expertise, and a bunch of friends who is joining us right now. We work together because we have different expertise, but we come together because once we get together, we actually resolve much more bigger problems. That's why different people hold different pieces of information, and they bring different perspective that when combined create a more complete picture of a problem and how to solve it. That's why it is since the start of the digital age, collective intelligence is evolved. It leads and enables transformation, whether it is DevOps, business, or digital transformation. I mean, still we are agreeing that the technological advancements help us to improve the result. However, it's technology by itself, again, it doesn't help us. Technologies such as internet and all the machine learning and everything, it is good. They can bring more brains together. That's why it is important. We need to understand this. We need to differentiate this. Smart technologies help us generate new sources of data. We can use satellite imagery or mobile phones and create new intelligence. And machine learning can enhance our human intelligence. Artificial intelligence can analyze large volumes of data to help us make better predictions or more quickly understand lots of unstructured information. But bringing together diverse groups of people, data, and technology, we can create a collective intelligence that is greater than the individual parts in isolation. That's why if you think about it as your team, if you start listening, everyone, you can achieve things far beyond what any individual human or machine could achieve alone. We can navigate through our transformation efforts using to our team's power. Think about it. Think about the old system that the managers dictates what needs to be done versus where we are right now. There are quite interesting benefits having the collective intelligence.
And Christine also mentioned Wikipedia as one example. The other example would be all the open source movement, like the Linux Foundation, in which they are bringing together intelligent people with their skills and other tools in order to enrich Linux and to enrich the open source movement or Wikipedia. Even if you have communities of practice and you have those communities well managed and according to what a community of practice means, you are also having collective intelligence there. Okay, remember that the collective intelligence is created when a group of diverse people works together, often with the help of technology, to mobilize a wider range of information, ideas, and insights in order to solve a problem. And there is a premise that intelligence is distributed. Different people hold different pieces of information and contribute different skills that, when combined, create a more complete picture of a problem and how to solve it. But Christine also mentioned that these people they are called knowledge workers. It's Peter Drucker defined what a knowledge worker is. It's someone who works with the knowledge that they have gained through systematic education, that is, concepts, ideas, and theories, rather than someone who works with manual skills. For example, a construction worker is not a knowledge worker if they are just putting one brick on top of the other. So, but people who works in where education is needed and concepts, ideas, and theories applied, that people is a knowledge worker. So we are not talking about people, a group of people waiting in the airport lounge or visiting the mall. So people that are applying concept theories and applying technology. So these knowledge workers should be highly inventive, collaborative, and intuitive, able to generate new ideas, uses information and generates knowledge to solve unknown challenges in various contexts, because we are bringing different perspectives, different experience, different skills. We are not trying to unify, to adopt one idea, just to have even confront ideas, have discussions, and arrive to the best solution. So able to create socially constructed meaning, that means interchange of ideas. Able to generate horizontal knowledge networks, that means there are no hierarchies, so it's horizontal. Attentive to context and information adaptability and usage, because information and the concepts need to be adapted to the new reality, to the context of the situation that it's trying to be solved. Promotes knowledge sharing and free access of information. So there is no knowledge hoarding, otherwise you won't be sharing. You need to share and to be transparent. And they are lifelong learners, able to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Because what is hard for us is not to learn new things, but to unlearn what we have already ingrained, what is heavily or deep inside us. We need to accept that we need to unlearn and then relearn again. Lifelong learning. So they may not be in agreement with you or share similar ideas. It's important to have diverse ideas, to have difference of opinions in order to make the solution richer. Sorry, Christine?
No, I was just saying, yes, we are not looking unified ideas, everyone is thinking the same. But anyway, the next slide, we'll talk about it. Okay, why we are keep saying include participation from all levels, diversity of opinion, it's important. Actually, years ago, probably 10 years ago, I read the book called The Wisdom of Crowds, by James Surowiecki, the author. He argued that, actually when you put the majority large group of people, aggregation of information in groups, resulting in decisions that are often better than could have been made by any single member of the group. But it is quite interesting book, by the way. It's on the reference list. But he also noted that not all groups are wise. You see, he understands, according to Surowiecki, there is a 5 elements separate wise crowds from irrational ones. Okay, that we want to talk here, because it is important to encourage diversity of opinion. Each person should have private information, even if it is just an eccentric interpretation of the known facts. we are not saying everyone should start coming together, the same understanding. No, 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 no. They are keeping, but for that problem, for that goal, specific goal, that they are thinking to, you know, bringing their ideas. This is important. And this is difficult to accept sometimes, having everyone is talking differently, but diversity of opinion is really key. That's why team members must have their independence. Those around them should not determine their opinions. Like, that's why if it is important voting, we are recommending using, you know, like a Delphi method, something. Don't ask, you know, because we don't want one person to say, you know, oh, this is my idea, and the rest is like, yeah, okay, I am agree kind of position. You don't want this. You want everyone to have their own opinion and the independence. And also understanding that not everything needs to be centralized. Important to have the people specialize in different knowledge and skills and draw on local knowledge. You see, they are coming together when the problem needs to be resolved. You see, decision needs to be made. That time you are using. Otherwise, you are not creating the herd immunity over here that everyone will start thinking the same way. You should have some mechanism or principles for turning private judgments into a collective decision. You know, this is the part of the aggregation. And of course, the trust. Each person must be trusting others and ensure the collective group to be fair and safe. You see, these are importance of the, you know, when we talk about the participation from everyone. As you can see, it is essential to have the participation from all different departments, groups, you know. That's why it fits the DevOps, because within DevOps teams, remember, we want to, you know, developers, the operations tester, the security guy, the architect, business analyst, the product owner to be there, because they should be come together regardless of their level, system usage, or department, to get diverse ideas and thoughts. Because we all know by now that collaboration is important. Empowerment of team members is key for effective results. And as we mentioned, you cannot move that stage if you are not empowering your team and if you are already building a team. Okay. But it is important to, you know, ensure the team members reach the collective thinking state. But so,
yeah,
if your team is, yes.
No, I wanted to add something.
Yeah.
So
okay.
The wisdom of the crowd doesn't mean that is not the same that when you see the riots in the streets. Yeah, when you see the riots, those are not. That's not an intelligent mass. That's not. There is no wisdom there. They are manipulated. So that's the difference. The mass doesn't mean that you are doing riots and you will be putting fire on the cars on the streets, and that's a crowd that applies their intelligence. Even that crowd is wiser than the subject matter experts. Even pharmaceutical companies, even research institutions are applying that collective thinking, bringing the wisdom from the crowds in order to eliminate the bias, the extremes of the curve. And then that's how you have a more precise solution for the problems if you apply that intelligence, that wisdom.
Definitely. But now we want to show you the one video that how they reach the collective intelligence state. Okay. This is the video.
Okay. We cannot hear the sound. Christine, you need to share the sound. The sound of the computer. The sound.
Sound?
Yes. When you share the video, you need to say that share the sound of the computer.
Okay.
It's more exciting. Listen to the engine.
All right. This actually took less than 2 seconds.
1.82 seconds. What you saw in 40 seconds was several times they from different angles, the same operation, change the tires of the F1 car. This is a pit stop where there are over 20 people. They are expert mechanics, so they are not just a high-performing team. They are applying their intelligence, and they need to make decisions on the fly according to what happened, if the car is damaged, if they need to fix something else. But the record was broken in 2019 in the Grand Prix of Brazil, where the Red Bull team achieved 1.82 seconds to replace the 4 tires. I hope you had listened the sound, because it's very exciting to listen to the sound of the engine.
Yeah, you can go, on YouTube, you can find it. Actually, we watched a longer version of it. They explain how the teams comes together and, how they work. And it is quite interesting. The total was less than 2 seconds. It is incredible. But anyway, yeah, we are talking, to get you the teams that, beyond high performing state. But that's why, as we mentioned, though, it's not that easy, of course. You have to establish your ground rules, because, like similar to at the beginning, we mentioned, you can just throw the teams together in one room. They don't become a team. They are just group of people sitting together. And this is similar to, you can tell your team that, oh, I want you to come up with, innovative ideas and become intelligent team. It doesn't happen right away. Why? Because getting this understanding and, understanding of the problems and issues and how they can resolve those, how they can tackle with those issues, the team needs to get the certain principles in place. Okay. Because the collective intelligence involves listening to multiple perspectives without getting angry, shouting each other, or throwing to, the whatever they have on their hands to each other, and embracing multiple points of view to develop a more sophisticated approach to problems, especially when your organization is going through with DevOps transformation or something like that, That's why it is ultimately the goal is to finding a more effective way to address the issues that your team, your department is encountering. Okay, because the reason also we are talking this, because like there are simple issues. Everyone is resolving those ones every day. Like some technical issues also, even they are simple. But when do you start to encounter complex issues, may require the intelligence beyond that any of individual. But when you have the complex issue, you will also have the conflictual issues. And when you read the 5 dysfunctions of the team, that book, you will understand actually when there are issues, the big issues comes, teams typically break down. They start to, blame position, or they start to, rigid positions, cover up deeper views. And, at the end, they get upset. They, water down, compromises starts to happen, saying, okay, this time, I accept whatever Jorge is saying, kind of, position you will start to see. That's you don't want. That's why for this, you have to establish your ground rules for the team when you are building it. The needs respect, trust, and transparency. You may say, yeah, he's crazy, but actually he comes with the ideas. It is good, you see. And transparency, because you want everyone to speak about it, and ensure everyone contributes to the big picture. If they are not contributing, just shaking their heads and, a yes or no position, you don't need them. Understand that there is a goal, there is, problem to solve and the goals to reach. They work together for this. That point, we want everyone to the team to work in a box, you see? Because you use the problem-solving approaches, you gather the information, and then use the convergent thinking, and you define, find your solution. And multi-channel communication, it means you cannot just have, set up a brainstorming session and coordinate or facilitate the environment. The team should be communicating with each other. And goals has to be clear, and resources should be aligned in real time. And everyone understands that, either they succeed together or they fail together. This is also a big approach that, some organization, you may not able to do this, but otherwise you will not able to reach the collective intelligence as well. You see, again, when you set these principles, doesn't mean that you will reach the collective intelligence states. Still, there are, steps to go through. Let's look at them.
Yes, we want to clarify that the collective intelligence is beyond the high-performing team state. When we talk about high-performing teams, we look at the result, completing all the assigned tasks, achieving their goals, etc. You can reach this point with the standard team building activities, especially if you are working with seasoned professionals. You will reach a high-performing state in a shorter time. However, are you getting the best out of them? Are you able to use their expertise to achieve a better outcome? You may notice that they might have quite different approaches, even they collaborate. You need to bring them to collective thinking state to ensure you get the best result out of them. So if you see the pit stop example, you may think that they are just a high-performing team, but that's not true. They rehearse together prior to the race. They were interchange their skills and their opinions in order to improve the process. So they are not just a piece on the puzzle. They are very skilled and they have a broader expertise, but they need to focus on that activity in order to solve that problem, to change the tires very, very fast. There is a fundamental dilemma in working in teams. Each individual contributes, but their contribution may not reflect their decision. Individuals may think that their contributions are not recognized, regardless of how hard they work. On the other hand, we cannot accept everyone's point on the matter. So, how can you be sure that your team reaches the collective intelligence state while team members still keep their individualism? That's the dilemma. So the first step is coming together. So everything starts with bringing people together. We are social animals, or we are social beings, and we function best when we work with others in groups or teams. It is important to understand how these behaviors affect performance in the workplace. Social unity and collective efficacy benefit team functions. So when individuals come together, each person brings a wide range of unexpressed differences in perspectives. The first challenge is a collective thinking step, is to recognize this and accept that the purpose of collective wisdom is not to hide different ideas, but to allow the differences to be explored while helping them reach the same conclusion. That means that we will all together arrive to a conclusion, but that doesn't mean that at the beginning we were thinking the same. That's the difference with the hive mindset. Suppose you have a group of people working on the project. In that case, you should follow Tuckman's team development process. Remember the Tuckman? Forming, storming, norming, performing.
Yep.
So those are the steps that in order to build a team. So before you can work on collective intelligence, you need to work through the steps of the team development process.
Yeah, definitely. Guys, that's why we keep trying to explain that, you cannot start collective intelligence from the group of people. You can only get that point when you have the high performing team, with the team setting and everything, because then if they are team, information exchange will start, you see. And it shouldn't be, when we are talking also, there's something to clarify, we are not talking because I am the product owner or project manager or the scrum master or whatever, the coach. Actually, everyone, there is no one decision maker in the team. Actually, team is the decision maker. You see, teaching this to team, it takes some time as well. But yeah, this is the information exchange. You have to see that it is information is flowing within the team without someone pushing this information. or without saying, Jorge knows very well, every morning to have, the team stand up or whatever you guys call it, this, no, the information needs to flow without any arrangement. This is the information exchange. And then it comes to information cascade that's, information start to roll up. Yeah, I can continue, Jorge. Or...
You were explaining number 2?
Yeah, 2
already?
and the 3. That's, yeah, we reached.
Okay. Okay. There. Number 4 is the social cohesiveness. That is defined as the willingness of members to cooperate with each other to survive and prosper. So it means the members want to be part of the team and want to contribute to its success. Cohesive teams have social and emotional bonds to each other and the overall team, motivating higher commitment and performance. So when team experiences success, everything is wonderful, everything is happy, everybody's happy and they are celebrating. But what happens if there is no success? They need to learn not from the scars in their bodies. They need to learn from their reflection on those experiences. So because the scars mean nothing, just a bunch of injuries you had during the journey. So, but on what you reflect on those obstacles, those issues, those troubles you had to, or those challenges you faced, that's when you learn.
Because
that's when you get collective wisdom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is the next one.
That's why this is when you reach that point. If these previous phases are not happening, you cannot reach that really. You have to go through all this situation and everything, and and then the team starts to make their decision based on the situation they are in. This is also as important. As we mentioned, we are not talking, team will start resolving all the world's problem here. No, they will just concentrate. What is the situation they are in? What is the problem? And they will resolve this, because the collective intelligence is, kind of creating that state is a bit of balancing act. If goals are perceived as being too easy to reach, members may not feel that they have to put their effort. On the other hand, if the goals is too difficult to resolve, like resolving world hunger or something like that, then again the team will not be dealing with this kind of stuff. That's because they know that they cannot reach their goal regardless of how hard they work in. But when the goal is just right, difficult but not impossible, then the team will believe it can reach it only if it works harder together. You see, these are actually in a nutshell, but let's look at some of the challenges we are discussing.
Yeah, the first one is the coaching. So that means that coaching and mentoring should be available. So remember, the coach helps the coachee to grow by questioning and make the coachee to reflect. And in the mentoring, the expert is transferring the knowledge to the mentee. So that's because sometimes we use coach and mentor as synonyms, and that's not right. The coach speaks the less in the coaching process, and in the mentoring, the coach is enabling the mentor is mentoring the mentee in order to make him or her grow according to the experience of the SME.
That's why you will have the challenges. That's why it's important to, you can mentor the start because as Jorge explained, but then the coaching becomes much more important. Of course, the resourcing is quite important, multitasking and resources that can do more than one thing. And it is important to enhance their knowledge as well. Of course, the education, the learning, as at the beginning, I think Jorge mentioned it, continuous learning. This is, guys, like a continuous improvement. Continuous learning is not going to end. It looks like, we are in this together and we'll continue to learn as we move forward. And of course, the adoption of knowing the methods and understanding stuff is also that helps to overcome challenges. Anything else to add, Jorge?
The key takeaways is we need to have a clear understanding on what is coming. That helps you manage what you need to know to stay relevant. That's why it is important to know where you are at, because if you don't know where you are at, it's hard to plan for where you want to be. So the technology and business must co-create the objectives of the transformation efforts, not just IT, not just business mandating their goals to technology, because they need to co-create. Otherwise, you are not in the collective intelligence state. And look at the market and competition and future. What is coming? What type of inventions are on the way? We sometimes see, if you like science fiction movies, that's a way to see what's coming in the future, maybe. Like the Jetsons in the 60s, the cartoon, the Jetsons, or Star Trek.
Star Trek, yeah. Yeah.
We need to focus on quality, not quantity. Don't try to reach a date. If you are not there yet, but on the paper, everything looks good, doesn't mean anything. We always remind our teams that everything works on paper or in Excel or in the PowerPoint. Once you implement it or load it into the system, you see the real result or face the reality.
Yeah. It's definitely. And also, in addition, the last one, I think, to embrace the adaptive design and continuous disruption. It is not going to end, guys. We are in this. It is not going away. The innovation is everywhere. And that's why how we can tackle this kind of stuff. That's why we thought, actually, if you want to try more, to give a shot to collective intelligence, and it may help. Because the multidimensional nature of the digital transformation happening around us is you need a team to tackle with a bunch of issues. That's why and cultural change and organizational change is becoming a long-term requirement of success. It is not a project, those kind of stuff anymore. Digital transformation is not a project. DevOps transformation is not a project. They are continuous effort. That's why it is better to, concentrate building the teams and, see what is happening. But I think that's it, because we also reached the 4:45. In our presentation. Just to remind you guys, we are running 2 more courses in March and April. It is going. One is the DASA DevOps Leader, and the other one, the DevOps Coach program. If you guys are interested, reach out to us. Otherwise, and also this is our, you can connect with us if you are not already. I will try to attach the PDF to chat box to see if you can receive. You can see all our references here, but just I want to open the floor for the questions. How was it? Anyone, any comment? I didn't mute anyone. That's why you guys can speak, ask question, or put on the chat box if you have any questions. So what you guys thinking about this presentation? Anyone?
Just quick comment on this. I think what you present today is kind of common sense, and but at the same time too idealistic. In real world, I don't think it really works that way. Having diversity means a lot of conflicts that you have to deal with, and it just doesn't work that way, I don't think.
Yeah,
that comes from my own experience as well.
Yes, but what is the solution then? You see,
I think the solution is collaboration is a good idea, definitely.
Yeah.
The problem is that you cannot come to a single conclusion every time. That just doesn't happen.
But you see, yeah, what is the problem here? Because you are trying to resolve, get the collective intelligence in everywhere. Every time. No. When you are dealing with the complex issues, complex problem, you have to teach the team to, come to, how they can bring to their or knowledge, intelligent on this that space to resolve the problem. As I mentioned, you cannot solve all the organization's problem with one team. No, of course not. And these steps that's why it is not for the, make a decision for every time, for every opportunity. No, and also there are certain things will be specialized decisions. You cannot ask team to make infrastructure decisions, because you want to choose a new tool. No, this is subject matter expert questions. You can bring only the architects together to make this decision. This is not collective intelligence. Collective intelligence is something that you want to build something new, or you have a problem to solve. It goes beyond one team, beyond one issue. You don't know whether it's the technical issue or the software issue or the hardware or the cultural or the process issue that you are bringing. That's why maybe we missed to clarify this at the beginning. We are not saying that you will make decision everything every time, create the collective intelligence. Collective intelligence just to resolve the major issues, or when you are trying to innovate something, do something brand new.
I think, if you can clarify that and upfront about that, that'll be helpful, I think. What I've seen from my experience is that you do need a decision maker. Without that person, nothing gets done. Having collective intelligence is a great thing. Information gathering is a great thing. The problem is that you do have a information overloading issue as well too. And navigating through that information you gathered itself can be a daunting task. So you do need a decision maker who can actually have the final saying. I think that's something that I think that's missing from here.
But no, that's because the role is different. If it is organizational strategy, you need decision maker, because who is going to pay for it? You see, that's why let's separate. But you are right. At the beginning, Jorge, I think we need to clarify this. We are not talking that, every team will make how the organization should grow strategic decisions or, any other decisions. Collective intelligence, very specific. Yes.
And also collaboration is the foundation. Collaboration, knowledge management, then high performing team, and then on top collective intelligence. So for some things, for some issues, with collaboration is right. Some decisions doing collaboration. Other ones you add knowledge management. That's okay. In other ones with high performing teams, you're done. But for some, you will need collective intelligence in order to get the wisdom from the crowd.
And this is also, which certain decision will be centralized. You cannot decentralize the certain decision maker. But if decision maker is the, just the guy paying the money, but clueless about the, concept that you are discussing, leaving it to him to make a decision is the most dangerous. That's why we are running these problems. Because at time, finance makes a decision saying you don't have budget.
That's called the highly paid person opinion, highly paid person's opinion. That's a risk also.
I think decision maker obviously got to be technical as well. So I'm thinking more of in terms of a chief architect, perhaps someone who has overarching understanding of the entire system, perhaps. Someone who can actually give the directions that the teams need. Without that, I think the project itself won't go too far.
But that's why just keep in mind that that one person knows the architecture doesn't mean that he can resolve all the problems decisions. You see, that's why let's separate this. Because
that's common sense. I think that people understand that. Just that. In practice, what you just mentioned is difficult to achieve. Let me put it that way. Especially when you have multiple teams, and especially in DevOps, you got
of course, difficult. If it is easy, we will not have all these problems. Do you know how many projects fails? How many transformation efforts fails? Why do you think?
Exactly.
This is the reason.
I'm looking for some other way to handle problems like that, and some other guidance how do you deal with
There's-
complex, for example?
Yes.
It's not just a matter of having collective intelligence at that point. It's
no.
more than that.
But that's why you cannot resolve the problems with one approach anymore. You see, if you are a conflict of interest, you have to deal with it. This is conflict interest, how you can resolve the conflicts. If
Yeah,
you
but
have,
having
the build, that's why, like it is one approach is not going to solve your problems.
Of course not, but the problem is that having too many approaches, that is itself is a problem as well.
Yeah.
And so you have to
But-
balance this somehow, and we're looking for some guidance as to how to go about to do that. And
No.
the only thing
No,
I can
and
think of
also-
is
Also get
have-
the aid of technology with big data and artificial intelligence or decision support systems. So there are other tools that you can bring.
And also we cannot
Exactly.
give the specific guidance for all the problems to solve. What was the anyone remembers Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Is all the problems solved with the 43? What was there is no solution like
the
that.
solution 42 is a solution.
Yeah, that's why 42 is the solution. There is nothing else we can do on this.
Yeah,
That's why.
but,
Anyone else? Any questions?
Any questions? Because we need to switch to the other
It's,
presentation.
Thanks.
Special.
Thank you.
No problem. I see it's some of my friends. No question from anyone because we are switching to Spanish right now. If there is no question, thank you very much. You can stay. You can continue to listen to the Spanish version as well. I'll just
You have the opportunity to learn
sharing.
another language.
And or watch me to saying, the Spanish hello. That's it. We'll be here. But thank you very much joining
Thank
us.
you.
If you are interested to learn more about it, this is actually bringing teams to the collective state that they can make a decision for a problem or find the innovation or the resolve their problems. Okay.
Anyway,
That's
they can have in also for a complex problems. Edward Snowden, complex systems theory. That's a way to tackle them. But you need collective intelligence as well.
Yeah, definitely. That's why this is something to try. Now, that's why. Thank you very much, all. You know how to reach us. Any questions? Just reach us. I'm going to switch to Spanish presentation right now.